What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it's another episode of Eagle Eye, where I talk about transfer rumours and generally rumours surrounding the club. Now, I ain't going to mess around here. I'm going to just get on straight with it. And that is Stan Kroenke. Now, some of you who are watching this will be probably surprised at that title coming from me. If you know anything about me, you'll know I'm one of the biggest Stan Kroenke haters out there. Maybe for slightly different reasons to some of you guys. I think, for me, one of the most unforgivable things he's ever said as an owner was when he said, well, I'm not in this thing to win trophies. Now, some people will be sat there thinking, well, why would he be? He's a businessman. But you know what? For me, he's also not in it for the right reasons, because if he was really an astute businessman, he'd know that some of the highest trophies lead to higher prizes, therefore higher money, higher profile, bigger worth. His asset would be worth more. So for me, if you're going to take it down a business route, I think he completely misses the point. And I do think a lot of his actions dictate the thought process that clearly the guy does not care about trophies. He just bought this quiet little English club in his mind, this quiet little English club, and all he wants them to do is just shut up, just keep generating profits, and he'll do his thing in America. Now, I've heard the argument for me and Lee are boys. Me and Lee can't talk about this subject because I just get annoyed. Lee makes some points. Some I agree with, some I don't. Some I flat out don't. And so it's a kind of a no-go subject with me and him. Mustafi's another one me and him can't talk about, right? Having said that, so I wanted to say that to say this. Yesterday I went on Twitter, right? And all of a sudden, I took 2 visits. I'm trying to limit my stay on Twitter as much as possible, particularly these days. If anyone who's a follower of mine on Twitter, by all means follow me at Colossal Chig, but if you like, I kind of went on there and I initially saw get the Glazers out. I kind of thought, oh, what had happened with United, where they all of a sudden wanted the Glazers out. But then I kind of just thought, you know what, I actually don't give a fuck, right? Then about an hour and a half later, I actually thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to post my Eagle Eye episode yesterday on Twitter. I hadn't done it in a while. I need to get back into the habit of posting videos on my social medias. So I was trying to do that yesterday. And then suddenly I saw hashtag Stan Kroenke out. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake, Arsenal fans, please tell me you ain't just started this hashtag because Man United fans have started their hashtag. Please tell me we are more independent than that. At least if you're going to go down this route because you're genuinely frustrated, not because you were inspired by whatever the fuck Man United fans are doing. Please tell me that is the case. But then I started seeing arguments, I started seeing petitions. And supposedly the real reason for that is because of the fact that we're not seeing signings. No one is being signed. Everyone is being frustrated because they see other clubs doing stuff and we ain't doing anything. Not motherfuckers. I done said this a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. I think I was the first one to come out with this point. We weren't going to sign anyone before the 1st of July. I said this over and over and over again. And I made a point of saying that the reason behind this is because if you compare it to the last launch, when we first signed a deal with Puma, the Puma deal, we announced Alexis Sanchez along with 3 other signers. Whoever we signed along with Alexis Sanchez, we announced them all, what was it, a couple of days later, all at the same time. They were all in the new kits. They were doing the shoot. Everybody, it was like a massive social media PR thing, right? I said at the time that I came out with that video. Go search it. Maybe a week ago. I think it will have 1st of July in the title, right? And I said it would be a PR nightmare if Arsenal sign a player and then they model them in the old Puma kits. It's not going to happen, is it? And they damn sure don't. Adidas will probably have some sort of clause somewhere where Arsenal can't model shit before the 1st of July. Don't be surprised if Arsenal have made, like, they're talking about this Saliba deal, right? I'm not going to talk to you about that today. Like, they're talking about this Saliba deal where, oh, well, Arsenal could make a bid. Terms have been agreed and they could make a bid today, set to be. Don't be surprised if that deal is done and wrapped up. Do not be surprised. Because I'm starting to see stories today, and I suppose I'll transition into this to come back to the Stan Kroenke thing. That I saw a story today where Arsenal have decided to drop interest in Joachim Andersen. So you may have seen it yourselves. You're seeing a lot of stories today about Tottenham making a £31.2 million bid for Joachim Andersen from Sampdoria. Supposedly there are a lot of clubs interested. Tottenham is one of them. And the feeling is that they're going to make a bid for him in the region of that sort of bid. Presumably, this is one of the things that set Arsenal fans off. Like, oh, why have we got so little money? Once again, because people are fucking hard of hearing on this thing, right? I'm with you in as far as I don't think Stan Kroenke has the best interest of Arsenal at heart. I'm with you. Generally speaking, I am a Stan Kroenke out. But I'm also a logical man. And I understand that the 1st of July is a key date for this club. It's when our new deal kicks in. Who knows? Maybe we ain't even had the damn finances from that new deal. Has anyone ever even thought about that? Maybe part of that finance is what is contributing to this budget. The 1st of July is a Monday. It's not next week Monday. It's the Monday after. A lot of things are expected. Trust me, YouTubers are going to be on point when it comes to that week. You're going to see lots of people doing unboxing. You're going to see lots of people doing all sorts of transfer. It's going to be transfer rumour heavy that week. I'm making that prediction right now. Right? So if it's the 31st of July, I'm with you. I'll sign the damn petition myself. And this is coming from a Stan Kroenke. Oh, people need to calm the fuck down. Let's be fucking real here. And this is my opinion. Let's be real here. You saw what Man United were doing with their petition, which to me, I think is fucking crazy because these fuckers get money every single season, right? You saw their petition, you got inspired, you decided to create a petition with Stan Kroenke. Because if you were really about this life, 3-4 years ago was the time to do it. 3 years ago was the time to do it. Last year, you could even argue, was the time to do it. Why the hell are you doing it now? Why are you doing it now? It doesn't make no sense. Again, because people are hard of hearing. I'm with you in as far as essentially, I'm a Stan Kroenke out, but I'm also a logical man. I'm going to keep repeating this because people are hard of hearing. Right? I understand that from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense to announce that we sign anyone until the 1st of July. Because most people, and I see it on every time I do a transfer rumour show, and I'll come back to that point too. Every time I do a transfer rumour show, I get comments like, well, I ain't going to believe it until they hold the Arsenal shirt up. Do you think they don't know this? So, of course, when a signing finally gets announced, and I see people saying all the time, announce a signing, Arsenal, announce a signing. The only way they do it was with an Arsenal shirt. They're not going to do that before the 1st of July. Mind you, and let me come back with something else. That doesn't mean come at me when on the 2nd of July you still don't hear anything. That means, by all means, come and criticize Stan Kroenke all you like. If it's the 31st of July and we still ain't made a signing, I'm with you. I'll be with you front and center. Wherever the damn protesters, sign me the fuck up. But All this nonsense because we ain't signed. I told you that a week ago. I told you that 10 days ago. We ain't going to sign anyone before the 1st of July. So what's all this bullshit? So they're like, people are like tagging me and shit because they know I'm a Kroenke out. They're tagging me and shit saying, oh, you should sign up to this, you should sign up to that. I ain't signing up to shit. Tell me when it's the 31st of July and then come find me. Come find me and I'll be there. I'll be there. Trust me. But right now, everyone needs to calm the fuck down. It ain't that serious. It really ain't that serious. And speaking of transfer rumors, I might need to educate some motherfuckers. So yesterday I had a comment saying, oh, well, you always do this transfer rumor show and, you know, these transfer rumors never come off. So you should stop doing it. The clue is in the title, dumbass. Transfer rumors. They are rumors. Doesn't mean that you hear a rumor, every rumor is going to be true. It just gives you an idea of potentially the type of targets that maybe the club's doing. Sorry, I ain't going to shut up through the summer. You know, sorry, not sorry. You know? People need to understand the difference. Instead of, oh, well, you always do these videos and no rumor comes up. What do you want me to do? I ain't behind the scenes. Who knows what the club are doing? But here, as a YouTuber who talks about Arsenal, is about speculating what they could be doing. Again, just like I do during the season, it's about speculating what tactics they may be implementing, speculating what the coaches are doing with the club. Our whole job is to speculate on this fucking channel. Let's be fucking real here. None of us are privy to what actually happens. So all we can do is speculate. That's what the show is, to speculate. To educate motherfuckers around here. Going back to my transfer rumor show so I can calm the fuck down. Armando Izzo, the Torino defender, 27 years old. Another story I spoke about a week ago, where I said that we had a new centre-back target. It seems like Arsenal have backed up from Anderson and reverted to this guy. I actually think that's a better target. Sue me, I think he's a better defender. I know he's about 4 inches shorter because Anderson's a big boy, 6'4", but he's also 6'4" and doesn't use his height that well. Whereas this guy is 6 foot, uses his height very well. Even though he's a shorter man, he's very, very strong, very, very physical, good pace on him. I said it before and I said it again. I know it's an outlandish comment. Supposedly he's the best defender in Serie A outside of Koulibaly. Read into that what you will. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that he comes with very high praise. 27 years old, will be cheaper than Anderson. He's definitely going to cost 30 million. They're talking about in the region of about 20 million euros. It's doable. Whether it's doable alongside Saliba is another question. I guess it depends on what we do and who we sell. Or if you believe in the Lee Gunner school of things, whereas these things are paid in installments. Don't get it twisted. There'll be a lot of big deals that are paid in installments. I do think Lee's at least partly right in that. I don't necessarily think every deal is done like that, but I do think he is partly right when he says that. Talking about some transfer rumors, let me put another one story to bed. It looks like, as I suspected, this Uber thing is more or less dead. I still think he wants his new contract. There's a reason I never talked about that Talk Sport story. I don't really like to give them fools any airtime. I think they like poking and prodding at Arsenal fans. And as you can see with the damn Kroenke out nonsense, we are easily triggered. So once that Andy Goldstein put that story out, they knew people would jump on that. They knew the press would jump on that, and they knew it would wind up Arsenal fans. Whether United are, I'd be very surprised if United are, particularly for 70 million. They're one of two teams I wouldn't sell Aubameyang to. The other being Spurs, of course. Just out of the sheer fucking principle that we keep selling them people. And it tends to be our best players. Although I don't necessarily think Uber's our best player. I recognise he'd still be a weapon for them, which is why I wouldn't want us to sell him to them. But it looks like Uber was talking today about the fact that how he loves living in London, that he's gutted that the season ended the way it did. But in terms of life in London, he's very happy. Complete contrast to Torreira, by the way. He's completely happy here. He loves the way his teammates have embraced him, and he believes he'll be even more lethal next season. So let's hope so. Let's hope so from him. Finally, a player that actually wants to stay. To be fair, listen, as much as I'm open to selling him to the right club, mind you, I'm kind of happy that he wants to stay as well. It's nice hearing a player that wants to stay, not because they want to sit out their contract because they're on a cushy contract, because they actually want to stay. Let me think about other stories before I check out the chat room. Lucas Torreira. So there's a lot of this Lucas Torreira story. Does not seem to want to go away. There are a lot of people that are thinking that perhaps Torreira could go, and if he is going to go, maybe we should make the deal work. I'm going to reiterate what I said a couple of days ago, and that is, for me, I don't let the kid go for anything less than 60 million. Out of sheer principle. You want to bounce? Cool. Let's get paid. Let's get paid. Because I don't think he's indispensable. Don't get me wrong, people. I don't want to sell him. But if he's desperate to go, let's make the deal work for us. You know, if he's going to go anyway, we may as well make it work for us. And also, I'm just going to say this as my final rant. I know I'm in a ranting mood, but fuck it, you got me down a road now, so I'm just going to continue going down it. I see a lot of people talking about shit around Reece Nelson, and there's this big debate over Reece Nelson, Bielik, and people in the last couple of videos have asked me to comment on it and shit like that, right? For me, I hope both players do well for Arsenal. I hope both players stay for Arsenal. I don't get the idea of shitting on one over the other. But I think, for me, if you're going to ask me who I think has the bigger future, in my opinion, I think it's Reece Nelson. There's nothing... Yeah, Bielik is doing well. He scored a couple of goals in the Under-21 Championships, and he's done well in League One. Absolutely, it's done very well. But also, and people might laugh at this comment, but let's be fucking real here, he's an Arsenal player. Quite honestly, I'd expect him to go to League One and put in some high numbers and do very well. I'd expect him to go to the Under-23s and do well. He's 21 years old. He's not a little boy. I'd expect him to do well. And I'm happy he's done well. And yeah, I'd love to see him in the team, but I wouldn't be heartbroken if he bounced. I'm seeing lots of people say to me, "Oh, Chig, what do you think? Bielik is a must keep, don't you think?" No. Well, he's the one to replace Torreira, don't you think? No. Why would I think that? There's nothing about him that I remember. Let's be fucking real here. He's had two managers that have not really fancied him that much. One of those managers bought into the club. So what makes me think, what in his form should I see that makes me think that he is the man to replace Torreira? I've seen nothing about him that says he should replace Torreira. Would I like to see how he does it and this is how I look at it, right? I'd love to see how he does it in the preseason. And if he does well, yeah, okay, you can be part of the first team. Maybe to replace Mohamed El Nene, because I still would like us to get rid of him. But he's by no means a starter. Let's see how he does. I think that's the reasonable approach to me. But if ultimately the manager then turned around and decided, you know what, cool, you're saying Under-23s or nothing, then it's nothing it is. I'm going to sell you. I'm not going to be heartbroken, to be perfectly honest. If a team is prepared to give us $5 million for him, I take it. I'm going to be real with you. I take it. And if it ends up being another a loss for us because he turns out to be a good player, this is the fucking risk you take, trying to be self-sufficient. We're in a situation at the moment where we need every penny we can. Every asset we can, quite honestly, should be considered to be sold. Every asset. We're not in the luxury position that a City in. Quite honestly, we're not even in the position that Liverpool are in at the moment. We're in a position where every asset we have has to be considered to be sold, which again, people are fucking hard of hearing. So let me reel people back in. That does not mean I'm saying sell everybody. That does not mean I'm saying sell our best players. All I'm saying to you is if you choose this self-sufficient model, everybody is up for consideration to be sold. Everybody. So that includes a 21-year-old who, yes, has shown great form over this past season in League One. I'd also expect him to perform well in League One. Whereas with Reiss Nelson, he's had that exposure. Don't get it twisted. There are question marks over Reiss Nelson. They are. Attitude might be one of them. You know, the fact that he says some bars like I saw an interview the other day where he was saying, "Oh well, I don't, you know, when I went to Hoffenheim, they do a lot of off the ball running, and I'm not really an off the ball runner." Worrying me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, because what does that mean? Because we need you to be off the ball running. We need you to be tracking back, going back and forth. But you know one overriding factor that I think people do underestimate at times like this? He loves the club. He's desperate to do well for the club. So even when he does get tired, even when there are situations where he feels like he could easily be late for a training session, I do believe that the love for the club will overpower that. And you might sit there cynically and say, "Oh, whatever." But for those people who actually love their jobs and love what they do, how committed do they end up being? Usually they're some of the hardest workers you'll ever have because they love what they do. And I believe the kid when he says that he loves the club and he's desperate to play for Arsenal. Again, maybe I'm biased, but I love it when someone says that they love Arsenal. Even if it's just an eighth of how much I love the club. Great, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I mean, for me, some people may laugh at this. I think Iwobi must love the club to still put up with this, some of the abuse he gets. There are very few people I do think actually love the club in that football club. Jenkinson's another one. Jenkinson's been a laughing stock for Arsenal fans for the better part of his Arsenal career. Yet my man still won't talk shit about the club. He's only now just saying that he wants to leave the club. That was one of the things I talked about yesterday, the fact that he's finally admitted that, you know, he needs to leave Arsenal Football Club to get more first-team football. But mark my words, he'll never talk shit. I like that. That's why I'm more forgiving of people like that. People who are hard workers, people who love the club, people who are prepared to fight. That's more what I want. That's more what I like about the love for the club. It's because I know that those people, when the chips are down, and inevitably some point in the season, the chips will be down, is that love for the club will make them fight. Can you see Mesut Ozil fighting? Can you see Granit Xhaka fighting? Can you see Mustafi fighting? No, they don't have it in them. And that's ultimately why I don't think that Stan Kroenke does necessarily love the club, because you could never see him fighting. You never see him turn up when we need him to. But at the same time, and I say this one final time, I'm a reasonable man. And I understand that as a business, it makes no form of sense. And they probably have some sort of contractual clause to say that you are not allowed to announce any signing in a Puma top. And you damn sure ain't allowed to announce a signing in a new top before we're ready to launch it. Simple as that. If it's the 31st of July and we're still in this position, I'm with you. Sign me up. Throw me whatever fucking petitions you want, and I'll sign it. My name will be there 3 times if necessary. Whatever you need. But don't come to me on the 20th of June talking, oh, well, Stan Kroenke didn't sign anyone. He didn't sign anyone until the 1st of July. So just calm down. Hashtag Stan Kroenke out. Yeah. On the 31st, not on 20th July. Come on, people. Relax. Be easy. This is going to be a long 49 days, son. It's going to be a long 49 days. Brace yourself. Because these signings, if they do happen, they're going to come thick and fast. The only thing that does worry me a little bit is actually selling these fuckers. The people that we have to sell. 49 days ain't a long time. But the buys will happen. For some reason, I'm quietly confident about that. But anyway, you guys let me know. I hope you're enjoying this. I didn't mean to turn it into a rant, but it's just started remembering dumb tweets that I received, and it just got me worked up. So no doubt, people always hate when I start ranting. So let me go into the chat and see what you lot are saying. Please do crush that like button. I do see a handful of you. A handful of you are watching right now. Right, those 3 players you all need to go. I'm with you. Kroenke out. Yep, I hit the like. More people need to hit the like. Crush that like. Jig, it's not because of the signings, it's because Stan Kroenke doesn't care about the club. So why did this start yesterday? That's what I want to know. That Farouk 50. Why did this start yesterday? Because in my opinion, I think this was inspired by United fans. You're roasting people's butt. Wilson, thank you, Wilson. Calm down, Shig. Agreed, this so is better. Hit the like button. Yes, please, do hit that like button. If we sell Terrell tomorrow, sell him for at least 50. Sell him for at least 60. The 10 rules. The 10 rules of the game. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'd sell him for at least 60. I agree, big bro. Lucas should be at least 60 million. 100%. This 35 million, you could suck my mum for that. We can't even add to the squad of players. Terrell should be leaving. Shouldn't be leaving. For me, if he's unhappy, Archie is a useless player because he's not going to play to the best of his ability. And that's why I make the argument that if he's that unhappy, bounce. As long as we get paid, bounce. And as long as we use that pay. Jordan Brown, the players, Arsenal should go. Ndidi, Rabiot. Rabiot's more or less gone to Juventus. One thing I will say though, I was thinking about all the midfielders that Juventus are going to sign, because also they're linked with Jorginho as well. I'm like, is Ramsey going to get a game? Is Ramsey going to get a game? Because it's looking kind of peak for him still. Segerson and Carrasco. Jordan, no offense, I'm not really with your choices. I'll be real. I think Ryan Segerson is overrated, as is Deulofeu for sure. Carrasco, I think, could be okay, but I don't want to hear about kids. I want some fucking new players. Listen, the kids, whether you like it or not, Archie, are going to be part of the future. Because again, we are self-sufficient. Nkanu and Rabiot should come to Arsenal. True Arsenal supporters know we come from a technical midfield. Okay. Torreira ain't leaving yet. What you said was somewhat lost in translation and hyped by the fake news media. My initial reaction to that, James, was agreed. And I must admit, I'm still in that camp. Notice I keep saying, if he is that unhappy, then let him leave. I can't stress that more. Can he be any worse than Xhaka? I take it you're talking about Bielik. Yeah, I can see your point. Wenger bought Xhaka over Kante. Yep, he did. He did. One of the things I don't forgive Wenger for, let me tell you. He saw Kante and Xhaka and thought, I'm gonna, but Kante is that. Sorry, Xhaka is that guy. Every normal person will pick Kante. I'll never forget it. Go look it up. Even Kante said he thought he was going to Arsenal. As soon as I saw that, I felt like crying inside. The thing is, if we sell Bielik and get another average player, then what's the point? Well, this is where you hope that the team is on point. So you're right. We have to sell players, though, Iffy. That's the thing. So you could say that about anyone. You could say that literally about anyone. So whoever we sell, we need to make sure we bring somebody who is of that quality, which is where I assume Edu kicks it. I assume his scouting team will kick him. Everyone, Laka, Uber, Ozil, everyone. Everyone is under consideration, James. Mark my words, that does not mean I'd sell everybody. It does not mean I'd necessarily sell Lacazette. All I'm saying is when you run self-sufficiently, everybody is under consideration to be sold. What's our transfer model? Simple, the 10 rules. Self-sufficiency, that's it. Selling Uber would have been a good idea, but it's all good not selling him. I'm with you on that, Iffy. But I wouldn't sell him to United, just to clarify that point. I wouldn't sell him to United at all. Our transfer model is buy low, sell high. Yeah, James, to be honest, and I think that's a lot of the reason why we're linked with this 18-year-old Red Bull midfielder, because for me, I think that's the only reason that we're linked with him. Supposedly he's a Ramsey replacement. Apparently he's supposed to be really good. Like his ceiling is supposed to be really high. But yeah, I think the plan is to just buy young assets, hope they do well, they're worth a lot, can sell for a considerable amount, and continue us rolling down the road. If West Ham and Everton outspent Arsenal this summer, shit's going to get real. The fans are going to be packing. But to be honest with you, Archie, I don't give a damn if they do. I just want us to buy the right players. And I think this is where Arsenal fans get confused. I don't care if Everton spend 150 mil and we spend 60 mil. Just make sure that 60 mil is bought in some quality and is bought in the areas that we need. That's the point that I want to make. Well, Gazidis should take them all out Milan. Gazidis owes us one. Just take Mustafi. Take Mustafi. Take Mustafi and all is forgiven. Jenko is shit. Now, I know. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. He's shit. I'm talking about the heart that he gives and the effort that he gives. You mark my words, if he was playing in that Europa League final, he would have been one of the best players in the pitch. Simply because of his effort. Awobi's a bench player. Yeah, I actually agree with that. I think he's an impact player at best. Xhaka is trash. Those three players you call need to go. Kroenke out. Josh Kroenke stand fuck off. Pastor Chig going in hard. I didn't even go into Pastor Chig mode, but yeah, I just went into ranting mode. Also needs to get rid of Ozil, Xhaka, Mustafi. They're not good enough. Simple as that. They're costing us £640,000 a week. To me, it's a no-brainer. It is. I mean, you're looking to sign up Uber and Laka to new contracts. You could easily do that by getting these three off the books. Although the position we're in with Ozil, we'll probably have to subsidise to someone at least £100,000 a week, I think, in order to get him off the books. But fuck it, we could do that. Check went. It's almost like we could do that. We could cover it. Just get him at least predominantly off the books. Signing in Puma makes no sense. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is not a right back. I hope he don't start the season with him in that position. Jimmy Mack, I'm with you. I am very worried we're going to be forced to do that because I don't see Arsenal buying a right back. I really don't. And if I was gonna suggest that Arsenal, the right back that Arsenal should get, it should be Max Aarons, especially get him now because next season it would be too expensive. Get him for 15 mil now. Really test Norwich's resolve. Test his resolve. See if he wants to come on board and go from there. And he's such a good player. He can play left back. He can play left back as well. Who of the other top 6 signed? And there you go. Marbles. I was going to say it, but I couldn't say it with confidence because I couldn't remember who anyone else had actually made a signing. I knew Chelsea obviously have them. I don't think Spurs have, although apparently they're set to get in Dombele, another excellent player. Liverpool, I don't think they've signed anyone. So yeah, this is exactly. It's too early to bitch. It's definitely too early for a hashtag. And again, I am a Kroenke out, but let's calm down. Let's do it when it matters. Uber replacement for Arsenal, they're out there, especially if you want speed merchant that can finish. Timo Werner. Werner offers more. Yeah. It's controversial to say because the man has just scored 30 goals. 30 goals in all competitions. So you sound like a dickhead for saying it. But I agree. I do think potentially the best strikers out there. Because he's not a finisher, but I'll give him this. His movement is second to none. His attacking movement is second to none. That's how he has the opportunities he has, because we didn't create that many opportunities, but he creates opportunities with the movement that he has. I know people bitch about my streams being too long, so I'm going to literally go for another 7 minutes, and I'm out. 7 minutes. 100% shade. Salah about to be signed. I hope so, Christian West. Got a good feeling about him. Good feeling. I'm not as gassed as other people about Salah, but I do have a good feeling about this kid. I do. Mike Hard, yeah, it seems to be on 4.7. Zelik can play in 3 different positions. Oh, the 10 rules, trust me. Don't get me started. Zelik is like my dream signing this summer. That's actually realistic. Hi, Joe Guy. Hope you're good. Can't believe it. I'm doing a stream and VP ain't about. What's going on? I've not seen it yet. Some time ago, I heard we were in a bank balance of more than 200 million. Where's that money gone? That's a good question, Jimmy, man. That is a very good question. Joe Guy, can we be proud of self-sufficiency? To be honest with you, Joe Guy, I quite like self-sufficiency. This is where I might sound heavily contradictory. I do. I like it. I do think a club should be self-sufficient. They should run in profit. To be honest, and I'm one of the very few that think like this, I recognize that. You know when they announce profits for clubs and Arsenal sat there as one of the there is a part of me that just does feel kind of proud that, maybe we are doing a good job. And then I remember that we don't spend none of this damn profit anyway. But I like it. I just think there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a proper balance. I think there's got to be a period of investment. And even if you are at a loss for a certain year, but you know you're going to get back into the Champions League, so be it. You make an investment for long-term gain. That's my point on it. That's my issue with Stan. It's just that, and this is why me and Lee don't talk about it, because us two have very different ideas on the approach. Lee agrees with the kind of short-term thinking of Stan in order to achieve the long-term goal. For me, I think you need to make an investment now in order to achieve the long-term goal. We just have a different idea of how to get there. But this is a good example of how you can still be friends, heavily disagree about something, but still be friends. Screw United. We should sell anyone to them, unless it's or Mustafi, or Mustafi. Emre identifying targets. No one's getting bought or sold so far. The board failing Emre at the moment. Let's see. It's still early, bro. It's what my whole video has been about. The 20th of June. If it was the 20th of July, I would understand what you're saying. Still got well over a month. Let's just be easy. Chig, they make up excuses saying it's commercial issues regarding why we don't spend money, anything to protect the American. I do agree with that. I'll be honest. I do agree with that. I can't even hate on that. This is where the Kroenke out part of me does agree with you. Yes. Don't know about you, Chig, but I'm feeling very optimistic about this window. We all know that business is going to get done. I reckon Arsenal are going to get on with things. Great show that they picked us up. Thank you, Mr. Delaney. Sorry, Mr. Oh, I was right. Delaney. Denley? Why did I say Delaney? Denley. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. And I'm not about optimistic, but I do think we'll get some deals done. I do. I'm liking the rumors. I'm liking the consistent rumors of certain players. And I don't mean your Alexis Claus Sanchez's or that goalkeeper that signed for Schalke. There are certain players that I think something will happen with. Saliba being one. I've got a feeling this Izzo thing, there might be something to it. What I'm saying is hold fire. Hold fire. And if we can get Tyranny, Izzo, Saliba, and Ziyech, I'll be a happy boy. I still think we need more than that, but I'd be a happy boy. To me, that'd be a good transfer window to me. And if we could sell some of the dross we have on top of it, I'd be a happy boy. I really would. I do think we need more than that, but even if it's just those four that come in, add someone as fearsome as Ziyech, put the kids alongside Ziyech, and you brought in one for the future in terms of a central defender, and you brought in someone who can play now. You get rid of the likes of Mustafi. Maybe you can get rid of the likes of Koscielny with Rob Holding coming in. Maybe get rid of Chambers. I think there's some tweaking to do, but I like the feel of it. I like the sound of it. My dream would be for Xhaka to go and us to go and get Decore. You guys know I'm a big Decore guy. But whether that will happen is another question. All right, 2 more minutes and then I'm out. Just so that people bitching that this show's too long won't bitch again. I'll be happy with Izzo and a pacey winner. Yep, I can see why. Give Mickey a chance in Ozil's role if we can't sell him. I hope we sell him. I hope we sell them both. No. Mickey's acting like Mickey's a young guy. Mickey's 30 himself, going on 31. Everything you could say about Ozil, copy and paste for Mickey. Other than the fact that Mickey's not had the same sickness issues. But other than that, what has he done? I don't know about West Tournament. We're not in great shape, but I hear what you're saying, Marbles. Ozil's a good squad player. You must be trolling with that one. See, 10 rules, just when I was starting to think of you as a serious guy, you made some nice little comments. I was liking it. Then you say some bars like this. Are you on? Agree with you on Max Aaron's chick. Honestly, Najib, such a good player. Such a good player. I still want to sell Mickey. Me too. And Raj, me too. Wenger out. Wenger out, you know. I think we're about 18 months too late still. Well, the Wenger outfalls were wrong, so now they have to blame someone else. I don't know. I'm a Wenger outfall as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Kroenke out guy as well. But like I say, I'm reasonable. And until it hits, let's say it's the 1st of August and we're still in the same spot, come holler at me. Come holler at me and I'm all ears. Okay, let's come towards the end of this now. Chig, would you rather Max Aarons or Reece James? Max Aarons for me. The only ones I'd have over Max Aarons, which will never happen, don't get me wrong, Wan-Bissaka, because that guy's going to be so good. So good. I think he's kind of nuts going to United, personally, but whatever. Laters, Chig. Laters, Adam. See you later. Lit channel. Welcome, Capone. Welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying. I hope you subscribed. In fact, I hope all of you have subscribed. Subscribed. Wan-Bissaka's a baller. No. Never going to get him. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. He's our scapegoat now. VP in the house. And Omar. See, Omar is the guy who I said doesn't like my long streams. Hello, Omar. I was just talking about you. Okay. Jordan's just spat some bars. I'm no dickhead, especially when it comes to Aubameyang. A good poacher, a very good striker, but he's very replaceable. Would be a don at Arsenal when he was 22. Arsenal couldn't coach Citizen too. Okay. I remember when Arsenal said that they would beat Chelsea 4-1, and you laughed. Well, yeah, because why am I going to go optimistically into a final thinking we'll lose 4-1? Why would I do that? It's a sleep, brother. What am I sleeping at? Don't worry about it. You're acting like when you watch on a playback, you've got to watch it straight away. That's the whole reason for a playback. Watch it when it's convenient. All right, boys, literally one more question. I know I'm doing a lead here. Or I say 5 minutes and I'm here like 10, 20 minutes later. One more question and then I'm out. I don't know how Lee does these every single day. My voice is straining. Oh, you are here. Sorry. I saw your donation. BP, apologies. I saw your donation very, very late. Very late. 2 donations. Apologies. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Saw them real late. Chig, do you remember how Joyce... I remember Justin Hoyt. I don't think Justin Hoyt got enough of a chance, you know. This is just me personally. I don't think he got enough of a chance. Yeah, I didn't mind Justin Hoyt. I didn't. Did you see the donation? I have now, VP. Thank you. You should be giving Chambers a chance. Jermaine, I'm flogging a dead horse with that one, brother. I'm spitting these bars for time. For time. See, there's 2 things that I tend to get criticized about. I stand up for Wobie, and for some unknown reason, I like Chambers. I've liked Callum Chambers for a while. I think there's something about him. I think he's a good player. I think there's no coincidence he goes to Fulham, who are a relegated side, and is still the head and shoulders person in that team. So much so, their fans voted for him. I think he has something. But I also think he doesn't have a future at Arsenal. For whatever reason, you have 2 managers that just have not fancied him. So I think if He's sitting there. He signed a contract, I think it was last year. So he's got some time to go on his contract. Let's get as much as we can for him. All right, that was the last question. Get the fuck out of here. You guys, please do crush that like button. I know there's some of you sat in the chat room, then crush the like. Take 2 seconds. I'm gonna stop this big black guy from spitting bars. Just hit that likes, because you know the people who are Kroenke outs, the hardcore ones, are gonna dislike this video. So equal it out for me and crush that like button. Really helped me get on my way. Thank you to everybody that has watched. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode. This one will be a pre-recorded one because it's a Friday night and we all got shit to do. So yeah. And thank you, Capone. I ain't gonna lie, I do. I get why I don't, Capone. And I'm gonna address that in the new season with some changes. I do get why I don't. I think the one thing I will say about having a YouTube channel is you need to understand your analytics, but you also need to understand your people. One thing that people will understand about me is I'm not a flip-flop. I won't just support a player because they said hello to me once in the crowd. I'm not a type of guy whereby, you know, I have a stance on something, I randomly change my mind, and then I don't tell you the reason why. Even with this Stan Kroenke thing, I'm still Stan Kroenke out. I'm not like a certain other YouTuber who just randomly changes his mind with no explanation, right? There is just logic to my thinking in this particular instance. Like, for me, I'm still Stan Kroenke out, but I'm also not waving the fucking flag talking about let's sign this petition on June 20th. I'm not doing that. You know, I'm prepared to see how the whole thing plays out. If come the 1st of August we still ain't done shit, park me the damn petition. I'll sign that shit straight away. That's the one thing you guys will always get from me on this channel. Whether you love me, whether you hate me, whether you agree with my views or not. I'm always logical. There was always a rational thinking to the way I approach stuff. And what I'm hoping is that eventually that will shine through. My subs will take off. I know it will. But that doesn't mean I'm going to shit on just under 47 subs I do have, 4,700 subs I do have at the moment. I appreciate every single last one of you guys. Trust me on that one. Please do me that favor though. And if you like what you hear, do crush that like button. Big up, Sam. I see you, brother. I see you, brother. Thank you, man, my man. I appreciate you too. Please do crush that like button. I'll be back tomorrow. And I know I owe you guys a podcast soon. I do owe you guys a podcast. And I see Sam is about. Gives me an idea. Leave that with me. I'll get back to you guys soon though. I'm out of it for now. Take care. Peace. Deuces. Stop the feed.